Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video is about the most unforgettable fragrances. I tried to keep it to 10, but I definitely went over by a couple. These fragrances basically just leave a stamp in your memory. These are the fragrances that once you smell them, you will never unsmell them. You will smell fragrances similar to them. You may love or hate these, but you will never forget them. These are fragrances that just leave a mark forever in your memory, at least for me. I'm sure a lot of you will agree with most of these. We're gonna get right into it. The very first one, obviously a no-brainer, Angel by Mugler. Patchouli, menage of different fruits, very sweet, chocolatey. There's something sexy about it, something very dirty. It actually does smell a little bit like dirt. The patchouli in here is a dirty patchouli mixed with the chocolate and all of those fruits, and like it is so unique. This fragrance, there is nothing like it. I remember smelling this in the 90s. I am giving my age away, but anyway, the new formulation, it's not like the original. I actually don't like the new formulation. Well, the new formulation as opposed to the original, like OG first release Angel. That one, I was a kid and I was obsessed with it, and my mom had it, and I would always sneak sprays and I knew it wasn't allowed, so it made me want it even more. Anyway, when I got this bottle, I really wanted to love Angel again, but there's something very obnoxious about it. There's something very bold, very in your face, very attention grabbing. This is for a woman like, this is Darcy. You guys know Darcy from 90 Day Fiancé? And funny enough, I'm pretty sure I saw her spraying Angel on herself in one of the episodes. My 90 Day Fiancé friends, you will know what I'm talking about. This is Darcy from 90 Day Fiancé. But also on the topic of Angel, I recently picked up a gem. I picked up Angel Liqueur de Parfum, and this is from 2013. This is what the bottle looks like. And this one actually smells like the original Alien. But it also has some kind of like liqueur note, like almost smells a little bit like cognac and maybe a little bit of cherries in here. I picked it up for a stupid price at a warehouse sale. Like, it was ridiculously cheap for being a discontinued and rare fragrance. I think I paid somewhere around $30 or $35 for this, so I snatched it up. It's rich, it's sexy, it's unique, it's like, it's bold, so bold, and this is more elegant than the current day Angel, so I'm very happy that I have this. This one is like Darcy on a very good day. And this one is Darcy on a messy day. Anyway, you may love it, you may hate it, but you will never forget it. Let's stick to Mugler super quick. Alien, I love Alien. Usually people are an Angel person or an Alien person. I tend to be an Alien person because honestly, I wear this one a lot. I have a lot of flankers of it. I'll do another Mugler video later showing you all the different aliens I have and whatever from the Mugler house. I will touch on it super quick. Amber, Woods, Jasmine. I don't need to spray it because I can smell it out of here, and I'm so familiar with this. It's one of my signature scents. I am obsessed with it. It's a beautiful jasmine. It is very polarizing. It is very not work appropriate, and it has a huge scent bubble. This fills a room. It absolutely fills a room. Even the new formulation, which this is, will fill a room. It is very sexy. It is a compliment monster. This always gets me compliments, usually from men. Actually, men tend to really love this on me and women not so much. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, very memorable. Many fragrances from the house of Mugler are very unique and different smelling, and you may love it or you may hate it. Another one is Womanity. I don't really like it, but I don't think it's as unique as Angel and Alien. Angel and Alien are like the two main ones from this house, in my opinion. Moving on, we have a niche fragrance. This is from the house of Kerosene, and it is called Unknown Pleasures. This is such a unique and memorable scent. Again, a complete powerhouse, fills a room. I don't need to spray it. I can smell it even from holding it down here. I don't even need to bring it up close to my nose. It opens with kind of like a lemony, sweet lemony smell. And then it's like lemon squares with Earl Grey tea and waffles. It's very gourmand. It's very dessert smelling. And it's a very, very sweet, creamy Earl Grey / London Fog type of tea in here. It's so easy to recognize. Once I smelled this, The memory of this fragrance will never be erased. Anytime I ever smell this, which is actually quite rare, I will always recall it and I will always recognize it. Like, the image in my mind is an après-ski, when you skied for a whole day and you're cold and you go into the chalet and you have a nice warm cup of Earl Grey, which is what I would have. I don't really like hot chocolate, so I would have creamy sweet Earl Grey. Then there's like steamy hot waffles there. Somewhere there's lemon squares. I don't know why the lemon squares are in this picture. It's a weird dream. There's lemon squares. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And delicious and memorable. Unknown Pleasures from Kerosene. I don't even know if I mentioned the name of it, but it is like a pleasure sensory overload, this one. The next fragrance is from Chloe, and this is the original Chloe Eau de Parfum. I've had this bottle for quite a while. From the bottle, smells lovely, and this is a very memorable smell. It's very fresh, flirty, girly. It's rose, peony, lychee. The lychee note is very prominent. Lily of the Valley, very, very playful. The lychee note is very outstanding in this fragrance. It kind of takes over for me. I don't like it anymore. I used to really like it, and I'm pretty much over it. I like it on paper. On my skin, I do not like it. I know a lot of people are a huge fan of this fragrance. Even still, it's super memorable. This fragrance is like this very juicy, sweet, playful, really intriguing fragrance. It's one of those, like, I want to keep smelling it, but I also am not sure that I like it. Sometimes it's a little bit too much for me. I think it could be the combination of lychee and Lily of the Valley, because I'm known to really not be a huge fan of Lily of the Valley most of the time. But nonetheless, incredibly memorable, and when I wear this, I get a lot of compliments. This one, and I have the Fleur de Parfum from Chloe, which is very similar but more citrusy. That one I actually prefer. I think it's a little bit more modern. Super memorable, unique scent. I will never forget the scent of Chloe. On the note of flirty fragrances, Viva La Juicy. I used to wear it. It used to be my signature scent. As much as I hate to admit it, back in the day, it was my jam. And it's not anymore, but that scent is just completely burned into my memory. There are so many fragrances that smell like Viva La Juicy now, but it was the first one that really had that very unique caramel, fruity, sweet vanilla, very, I have actually a little mini bottle of it. Very obnoxious, but kind of sexy. Like, Viva La Juicy to me right now is like the hot drunk girl at a party that's like loud and obnoxious and all over everyone and trying to get attention and kind of dressed a little inappropriately, but still kind of likable. Like, there's still some kind of charm to her, but she's just too much. Like, that's Viva La Juicy. So, not that I used to be that person, but I don't really like this one anymore. However, I actually really like Viva La Juicy La Fleur, and I picked this up a little while ago. The bottle is still really loud and still kind of obnoxious in keeping with this Viva La Juicy theme. But it's fresher, it's more watery, and for some reason it smells like watermelon. If you watered down Viva La Juicy and made it airier, fresher, less dense, and put some juicy watermelon in here, that's what this is like to me. And I actually really like it. It's a nice summer, cute fragrance. So yeah, Viva La Juicy is just, it's one of those. It will forever be on my memory. Lots of fragrances, actually. Noir Tease from Victoria's Secret smells like it. Nicki Minaj Pink Friday smells like it, and like countless other fragrances. There are so many that like Viva La Juicy is like a category in and of itself. Some of these fragrances, they become a category, and then there's just, that's the scent profile, and they just become that. Like, I think Viva La Juicy is one of those, because there are just countless fragrances that smell like it. Next, Baccarat Rouge from Maison Francis KURKDJIAN. This is, of course, no surprise, and I'm just going to touch on it very briefly. Yes, I did get the big boy bottle, because why not? I really love this fragrance. It's very woody, and again, so many fragrances made to smell like it. This is arguably the most like duplicated, copied, inspired kind of fragrance. There are so many like copies and variations of it. Oh, this smells like Baccarat Rouge. Cloud smells like Baccarat Rouge. Burberry Her. No, they don't really. This is so unique in my opinion. And by the way, I have all of the like dupes. This one's really quite unique. The only one really that is pretty close is from Okcha, but still this has a certain airiness about it that the dupes lack, and it's a very recognizable scent. It's got this woodiness. It's got almost like what people call a Band-Aid scent. Like it kind of smells like a hospital, like Band-Aids, which I actually love, but it's also very, very sweet, very airy, like cotton candy. It's really quite beautiful, and again, a powerhouse. Fills up a room, leaves a beautiful scent trail. A friend of mine at work, this is her absolute favorite scent, and when she's not in the office, I know that she's been wearing it when I come in and I'm like, oh, is she wearing this fragrance? And then they're like, oh no, everybody else is like, no, she stepped out for lunch, but I don't know. I'm like, yeah, 100% she's wearing it. I will check in with her, and she's like, yep, it's Baccarat Rouge. It fills up a room and it stays, it lingers. There is nothing quite like this in terms of longevity, scent trail, and like power, and it's so recognizable. It's out of this world. And from the same house, Maison Francis KURKDJIAN, or as I like to say, KURKDJIAN, I have Oud Satin Mood, also a big bottle. This is very different from Baccarat Rouge. This is powdery rose, very sexy, very sweet and wintry, much more dense, and just they're not similar at all. This is a beautiful oud. It's a very smooth oud. It's very memorable. There is nothing quite like this. Again, a lot of oud fragrances, a lot of rose oud combinations, but something about Oud Satin Mood really stands out. It's better than the rest. Longevity is insane on this. It lasts so long, projects like crazy, and that's part of the reason probably why it's so burnt into my memory, is because it is so powerful. It just kind of forces itself into your nose. So I would definitely not be wearing this in the summer, but I will definitely be wearing this in the winter, like all winter. It's just so sexy, elegant, beautiful, feminine, like everything that I want to embody is in this fragrance. Now, a fragrance that may not be so unique but very memorable is Mon Guerlain. It's a very interesting lavender and vanilla combo that once you smell it, you can't unsmell it. It's very recognizable. Nothing complex, nothing like, whoa, crazy out there. I wouldn't even say it's like that unique. A lot of people say it's generic, but to me, it is so memorable. I will recognize this anywhere. And I've done blind sniff tests, and I know Mon Guerlain when I smell it. It is so easy to recognize for me. There's just something about the way that the notes combine in here. It just like, you just know, oh, that's Mon Guerlain on anybody. And the flankers too, like the EDT, very recognizable. Bloom of Rose, very recognizable. Just this, I guess they did a really good job with this particular like pillar. It's a very recognizable pillar fragrance, and all the flankers are quite similar and recognizable as well, but different in their own way. I love it. It is very powerful. I actually don't wear it in the summer, honestly. I can't wear it in the summer. I do find it a bit too cloying, and I can't spray it on my neck because then I'm getting like, it's going up my nose the whole time. So I actually reach for the EDT in the summer. That one is a little bit lighter and more lavender. And a very different lavender vanilla Versace Blue Jeans. I love this fragrance. It's the only, I think, men's fragrance in this whole list. But for me, like since I first smelled it back in the day, like back in high school, it won't leave my memory. It is so easy to recognize. There's something about the scent that is so unique. It's not like other men's fragrances, and it's so sexy. This fragrance really does something to me. I honestly think that every man needs to have this in his repertoire. Younger, older, everybody needs to have this in their repertoire. It is such a sexy, like, date night fragrance. It's very warm, but it's fresh. That lavender is very noticeable, and the vanilla is very creamy, very smooth. There's citrus, there's sandalwood, there's so many notes in here. It's a huge mixture of notes. They did an amazing job with this fragrance. So recognizable. Like, I will always know a guy is wearing a Versace Blue Jeans, and I've called it a bunch of times, and I've been correct. It's just something about this just vibes with my nose, and I love it. And so, guys, please get on this. Don't sleep on this one. It's an amazing cheapie. It's 20 bucks. For 20 bucks, seriously. there's no reason not to have it. There's so many random freshies out there from men these days, and all the new stuff from Versace just like really doesn't make the cut in my opinion. They're just meh, they're just whatever. The Dylan Blue, whatever. Versace Eau Fraiche, whatever. Like all the Versace's are just whatever. Like compared to Versace blue jeans, after having smelled this, everything else is just subpar in that category. Like this is just better. It's just better. It's more recognizable, it's noticeable, it's attention grabbing. You're not gonna fly under the radar with this. It's very sexy. Okay, we're gonna move on to some lesser known fragrances. I am pretty sure we are past 10 at this point. I actually haven't been keeping track, but the next one is one that I have a decant of, and actually I also have a sample of, and it's Rosé All Day from Gallagher. There is a reason why this is an award-winning fragrance. It is very unique. It is very different, very strong, very potent, very like punch you in the face strong, and definitely unisex, I'd say. This one, honestly, I do struggle with. I can recognize that it's a very well-crafted fragrance. It's very well done. Actually, I got the whole sample set of these samples from Gallagher, and I tried them all, and they all have a very, very dense kind of scent presence. Like they're not watered down. They are definitely very, very potent. This one, it smells like plums that are like overripe plums. Very overripe plums. Makes me think a little bit of red wine, plums, spices, like fall, Christmas type of spices, and like there's apple crisp. There's a note of apple crisp. I guess it's like apple pie spices. It's kind of like this, but borderline spoiled. Very, very strong. It's not bad, but it's like, it's the point of ripeness in a fruit where it's like, it's at the last point of it before it goes spoiled. Like this is more of a prune than a plum for me. Like a spiced prune, kind of. Like a spiced prune jam. Kind of like that. Now, there's also a note of stainless steel in here, which it does add a bit of a metallic vibe. If I didn't know there was a note of stainless steel, I wouldn't be able to call it, but I can smell all the other notes. The rose that's in here, it smells kind of like wine. It's a very deep, rich, kind of vampy rose. Honestly, to me, it's more of a spiced, like plummy jam, brown sugar, sweet. It's a very interesting fragrance, definitely worth trying, and once you smell it, you can't unsmell it. It's a very unique, kind of stands on its own type of fragrance. There is actually nothing like it. I haven't smelled anything that smells like Rosé All Day from Gallagher. Some of the other ones that I mentioned in this list, they're unique, but then since then there's been a lot of fragrances that came after that smell like them. There's fragrances that smell like Angel. There's fragrances that smell like Alien, like Juicy, Viva La Juicy. Many of them that I've mentioned, after them, fragrances came that smell like them. But there is not one fragrance that I've ever smelled that smells like Rosé All Day. So definitely there is a reason why it's an award-winning fragrance, and I can appreciate the craftsmanship that's gone into this. It's very well done. Do I personally love it? I wouldn't say so, but I'm still working on it. The next fragrance is from the house MARC Antoine Barrois, and it's called Ganymede, and this fragrance has a mineral note. So like the one that I mentioned before has a stainless steel note, this one has mineral. It has a metallic vibe, and this one is named after one of Jupiter's moons that has a saltwater ocean. So the theme, I guess, is to keep it kind of salty, metallic, kind of out of this world. A very interesting concept. And this one, man, I love the sprayer. Look at this. It's got an herbaceous bitterness. Very interesting, very masculine. The mineral notes that are in here, they come off quite metallic. Very interesting. It's bitter and sweet at the same time. It's very rich and airy. Bitter and sweet. Very interesting, contradicting nuances. It's fresh, but it's also very rich. It's powdery but sharp. You know what I mean? It's like, it's very contradicting. It's more masculine than feminine. I would still wear this, and I do, but I would like to smell this on a guy. It's a really, really nice fragrance. It almost smells a little bit like leather. The way that these notes combine, They give off a little bit of like a leather vibe, a very subtle, airy leather vibe, but a leather vibe nonetheless. Very interesting fragrance. I've never smelled anything quite like this. It's not one that I hear about often. I heard about it a couple times from some other reviewers, and I'm glad that other people are on this as well. That's Ganymede from Marc Antoine Barrois. And I will link it for you guys down below. I actually got this from Raffinette Perfumery. The last fragrance is an honorable mention, and it is Bal d'Afrique from BYREDO. I love this fragrance. I don't have my full bottle yet, but I do have a hand cream and I have a dupe for now. The dupe that I have is Fredrico Mahora, and the code is 709. I'll link it down below for you guys. And I actually also have Zara Tonka Wood, which smells identical. I had the Zara Tonka Wood for a while, so I haven't been in a hurry to grab a full bottle of Bal d'Afrique, but I will. And the only issue why is like, it doesn't last very long. That's why it's an honorable mention. It's not a very long lasting scent. All the ones I've mentioned before are pretty much powerhouses and very long lasting. Bal d'Afrique, I wouldn't classify as such, but it's a beautiful scent. It's very modern. It's very different. It opens up zingy and zesty and turns very quickly into a very interesting sweet creaminess that has a very rich, rooty vetiver. You would think that it's a summer fragrance with the blackcurrant and the citrus, but it really isn't. To me, it's more of a fall fragrance. Maybe not a winter, more of like a spring fall. It's just that it's not very light. I wouldn't call it refreshing. I would call it very smooth, creamy, and rooty in a way. It's that vetiver. It adds a very classy masculine touch, and I think it's completely unisex. I love to wear it myself. I say wear it, but really I'm wearing the dupes, let's be honest. Anyway, they smell identical, so whatever. If a fragrance doesn't perform for me, I explained this before, if a fragrance doesn't perform for me, I'm reluctant to get the original. And I know that the House of BYREDO gets a little bit of hate because the quality of their fragrances, it doesn't match the price point. So it's a little bit of that, but the fragrance is outstanding. The scent is gorgeous. There is nothing quite like it. It's a 10 out of 10 fragrance for me. I really love it. I just wish it would be more long lasting. Then I would definitely have a full bottle of it. But I do encourage you guys to smell it if you haven't yet, because it's special. It's just really special. I guess these are all of my most recognizable, most unforgettable fragrances. These are the ones for me. Let me know which one of these you guys agree with, which do you disagree with. Let me know which fragrances left a mark on your memory that you will remember forever. It doesn't have to be the most unique fragrance. You know, it's just the one that is the most outstanding in your memory. Or you can tell me ones that are powerhouses that you think are just like, bam, and they're in there and you will never forget them. We all want to have that scent and we all want to leave a lasting impression every now and again. So it's good to have these in our repertoire. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.